Hi, Luminaires. How is everybody doing today? My name is Jamie Butler. If you're new to the channel, I am a medium and a trance channel. I've been doing this work for over 30 years globally, authored books. My passion is teaching classes and providing some space where we can normalize our intuitive abilities. That's a very big calling for me. And today, Spirit was suggesting we talk about channeling, but keep it in a very non esoteric, which is going to be a little hard to do, way of presenting it. And just to show you that you do this every day already. Before we dive into how our brain does channeling every single day and how to identify it, I like to give a shout out to you, Loomies. Check in with you. How are you? Are you enjoying the compression of energy for the first half of February, as Maitland was saying it would be? Let's see, we're on the 3rd, 4th. So we're getting into that extremely creative energy where problem solving, thinking outside of the box. Curious to know what's going on with you. Julie is sharing. Hi, Julie. She attended the Reiki healing session that we had about an hour ago. She just had a great rest after her Reiki. Even Amora saying, I'm just waking up right now. Tiffany says, my light is amazing today. I'm so happy it is. Hi, Amber. She's saying, hey, everyone. Ed Gonzalez, so good to see you. Dawn, welcome. You guys are awesome. So have you thought about, oh, there, I'm on the keyboard, ghost keyboard. It's Colleen. Hey, Colleen. Oh, Amy Garcia says, I'm finding the energies in February inspirational, exclamation marks. Genevieve, I'm so happy you're here. I included you in the Reiki healing we did earlier. I did. Hi, Kim. So for those of you who are here, I'd like for you to start thinking about channel. What does it mean to be a channel? Like, do you already have a definition around that? I know I did. And I didn't meet a lot of people who could channel. To me, when you used channel, it was specifically for those who did trance channeling, full body incorporation, where they let the entity enter into their body. I know it sounds sci-fi, but they let the entity merge their energy with theirs and use their body to communicate to whoever's witnessing or holding the space. Ed, do you like my glasses? Yay! Rob Holmes, the most amazing author of children's books. He said, yes, I got a definition. Channel equals holy pipe, like the pipeline of information that comes in. I know I used to only associate it with trance channeling, but Rob, I'm on your side. It is just, it's the line that's open to us that we can vocalize, move energy through. Amber was sharing, I was connecting this morning, writing in my journal, and Maitland came in because I started to giggle out of nowhere. She goes, is this true? Maitland's nodding her head yes, up and down. This is true. Oh, thank you so much, Andrew. Andrew sharing, thank you for all you do for us as a leader of the light for all of us here on earth. I'm really so humbled and honored that I'm even in the position to speak honestly about these abilities and to have a platform to receive it. It is a blessing. Amora says channeling is simply another form of communication, very natural, but not many excellent at it. But maybe we are and we don't realize it. Like, what is our brain doing? Right? So let's look at this. Channeling. The different, let's say, I was going to say channels to channeling. Oh my gosh, somebody needs to stop me from doing that. Okay, we have channeling, which I agree with Rob Holmes and Amora. It's a form of communication. It's the straw. Channeling is an empty straw. Now, whether your straw is very, very tiny and you get very little through it, but you have to give a lot of effort just to get the little bit amount through it, like if you were drinking through a coffee straw, mm. Or if you have a fire hose and it's like this, and you're almost just getting too much information coming through the straw or the pipeline, and it's just running through you. So it's a connection between, we'll talk linear for a second, a point A and a point B. That travel distance is the channel, how you are connected to a source, and you're receiving information that is not traditionally learned, taught, read, hand me down, storytell, indoctrinated. You just know the information. So what's fabulous about our brain, and we don't give it enough credit, in my opinion, especially when we're teaching our children how our body functions. When we look at the brain, it is not a stagnant organ, 8-pound little brain hanging out in your head. It is much more than that. The scientists, and I can quote some studies in a little bit. I tried to write them down because I normally forget them. With doing EEG tests, which is when they put all the nodules on the head and they read the brain wave and the activities, and it shows up on a screen and they say, yep, your brain is still functioning. They started to 2 feet away from the person's head. 2 feet away from the person's head. Should we do a visual? 1, 2. So now the nodules are out here, clearly not touching the person's head. Not at all. But they're picking up the brain signals. Do you hear me? They're picking up the brain signals. It's not, the brain's not sending information through touch. The sensor didn't need to be on the skin to pick up the pulse or pick up the transmission. It was out here and still doing it. I don't know why. I linger on it because it still makes me go, wow, we are so freaking incredible. Humans are what? Animals, life in and of itself. I'm amazed by so many things. Our brain is a transmitter. It sends and receives energy. So sit on that one for a hot second. If it's able to send and receive frequency and process it and turn it into imagery, thought, to support emotion or create emotion, what do we call that? What do we call that process? I'll wait for your answer. And as I'm waiting, I'm going to say hi to a few people. So, what do we call that? Gianna says, is channeling the same as meditation? Not necessarily. They can use similar brainwave activity. So when we look at an alert person, like what we're doing here, we talked a little bit about this in our Reiki healing session. We're using beta brainwaves. We're alert, we're observing, we're listening, our brain is fast, it's firing off all cylinders. But then you fall into that daydream. You ever do that where you just click out like that? Cool. It's alpha. You're like, Jamie, your acting is so bad. Stop it. Oh, it makes my ribs hurt. So we have a daydream that's alpha brainwave. It's when you get a little fuzzy, and this means that your brainwave is slowing down. Now we go into deeper layers. You can go into delta, theta. When we get into meditation, most of the time, most people in general are hovering around alpha brainwave. And so meditation of a collection of the body, a collection of your thoughts, your mindfulness, staying present, in my opinion, and it is aligning the mind, body, emotion, and soul. You have these 4 bodies, and they're just kind of putting them all together so we're more aware of it and how they're working together. And then we're able to be open in a receiving way. Whereas channeling can happen when you're driving the car and you're very much in a beta state and you're looking at everything going, okay, I got to stop, I got to do this, I got to shift gears. Now I got to think about what I'm going to buy. And all of a sudden, bam, you get information. You go, oh, I didn't know that. Like I was driving with Colleen to go to lunch to Whole Foods because it was raining. Normally we walk. And I heard in the back of my head, drive the way you walk to get to Whole Foods. And I'm like, that's ridiculous because I would be cutting across busy roads. I'd be driving through parking lots when I could just go it quicker on the main streets. It'd be fine. Well, I didn't know. The road was closed to Whole Foods. So we went all the main road, got there, couldn't get there, had to drive all the way back. And then guess what? Take the back roads to get to Whole Foods. So I was unaware of it, but yet in my beta brainwave state, in it came. Some of you will call it an aha moment, a moment of clarity. So channeling can happen during meditation, but you don't need meditation to channel. God, that was a long explanation. Jana, you can write me a very wordy email if you need to after this. Jamie, use less words. Oh my God, it's cracking me up. It feels like Amora said it would be an open line if I hadn't been shut down. Kind of like kids being told not to call long distance back in the day when it cost extra money and the communication was shut off. It's totally true. Totally true. Hi, Clarinda. Beautiful souls, she says, watching from Australia. Hi, Australia. Hope you guys are doing well. Okay, so what did you think? What did you call it? I'm looking. Amy's like, I think I live in the alpha state. Could be. All the favorite energy and hi B. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, I didn't see a lot of explanation. So what do you call it when your brain is receiving transmissions from other sources? It's just picking it up. Can't we call this channel? What was the question again? What do you call it when your brain picks up transmission and gives you the information? Transmitter. Did I say something else? Listening, says Amora. You do need to listen. But a lot of times you're not in a listening mode when you get the information, right? It's a straight up antenna. I totally agree with that, Oriole. I'll do extra syllables on your names all the time. Of hi, vibration without statically info. A receiver, receive on. Amy, normal brain activity? You're like, is this a trick question, Jamie? Help me. Downloads. Oh, I like that one. Channeling, listening, frequency. Yes. I call it a form. Oh, I like that, KL. Connecting. I call it a form of channeling. It is. So we have this brain that can pick up energy frequency. We don't even need to call it energy, it's frequency. Everything is made of energy. That's, we know, scientifically proven fact, at least 2 feet out from us. But when we dive into quantum physics or quantum mechanics, there's no linear time frame, no solid proof of linear time frame. There's a lot of proof in the belief of it, but there is also no space continuum. So we have this brain that we are believing works one way, stagnant organ stuck inside the skull, doesn't ever crawl out of the skull, it doesn't do anything outside of the norm. It just processes our thoughts and goes down deep rabbit holes and likes to shop for shoes late at night on Amazon. Maybe. So then we believe that our brain works this way. It really, really does. 24/7, even when you're asleep and you're engaged in conscious, even in your beta, alpha, delta, theta, gamma, brave wave, brave, brain wave links, wherever you are in your focus, super calm, outer body, altered state of mind. If you are hyper focused, like gamma is, it can still pick up transmission externally and process it internally. What it also does is it sends out signals for others to pick up on. So, plainly and clearly, what I'm trying to say is we are made to be telepathic beings. We are made to be channelers. We are made to channel, connect and channel and receive information as well as transmit information to others. Period. Drop the mic. We're done with our conversation. That's it. I'm just kidding. But it does feel like that. We are made this way, but we're not connected enough or maybe aware enough or have enough experience under our belts to allow our bodies to function this way. Oh, I love all these. Is that why some cave paintings have pictures with figures and antenna on their heads? Hi, everyone. Love to all, says Stormin 12586. Could be. I don't know. I haven't seen the pictures. But it very well could be. That is where they are receiving their information. We have an ability to download and channel information without having to learn it. But because for so long on earth we have structured these systems such as school and um, what do you call it, a process, first grade, second grade, third grade, this is what you learn in this grade, this is what you learn in that grade, and that process builds on it, like you don't really get an organic response to maybe in third grade you're freaking loving chemistry and algebra. But that's not going to be taught to you until eighth grade, or seventh grade. So you have to wait. And so we hold our energy back and our natural organic ability, our authentic response systems to fit in the process of education. And in doing that, I really think we do a big disjustice to our brain, who's already, like from day one, doing more things than what we know to possibly like manage. Oh, Lorena, I don't even know how to pronounce that. Do you mean the walkie-talkie sound? The volkie talkie sound? And we're scanning alone, like along the channels on the old military radios, yeah, to see if you're going to pick up on anything. Yes. And Shelley Han, thank you so much for the financial love. That is so sweet of you today. Thank you. Thank you. Sometimes we're in the body and the download comes in and a shift happens and our crown chakra pulsates like fleas in that part of the head. I've noticed that, says Lorena. That makes my itch a little bit. Yes, information likes to be downloaded and come in through one of our main channels. Channel has so many different meanings in our body, and our main channel is called the Shushmana or Shushumna, depending on how you want to pronounce it. It's the neutral line in the body, and that's exactly where all of your chakras are located: crown, third eye, throat, heart. You notice it's right in the middle of the body, right along the spine. The top one here, if you could imagine, you could look down like the width of a person's head all the way down their body. And in the inside runs this quality of energy that's very neutral. It's not triggered by positive, it's not triggered by negative. Positive and negative does not mean good and bad in this case. We're talking about the quality of the energy. Positive is more of a consistent frequency, it's more strong, it has this leadership quality. Negative is a more fluid frequency. The giver, the healer, it's more like the moon, like a river, like a lake. Okay, so we have this neutral energy, and that's the channel which the information runs through that your brain channels from the frequencies that are around you. Oh no, it's messing with people today. Annie says, I'm a teacher and schools are not catching up to students. It's been like this way for many years. Oh gosh, Annie, thank you so much for sharing that. I can't imagine what that's like, knowing that and seeing it and witnessing it and not having the space to catch up, as you said, not having that support to be able to provide that for your students or in your classroom. You're so cracking me up. Hi, Vlad. It's good to see you. So, if we are channeling like this on a day to day basis, where you get thoughts in your head, or you get those aha moments that make you pause and have this what crack your skull open moment. I never thought of it that way. I didn't know. I didn't, but it's downloading into you. It's coming. Are you guys focusing on my head now? Because now it's getting hot. It's a weird feeling. So this is happening all the time. Like I mentioned, whether it's quietly, you just get information, whether it's an aha moment, whether you're deep into a meditation or in a sleep, or you are washing the dishes. I mean, it can come at any time. So if our brain is doing this all the time, many of us energy centric people really enjoy getting this extra information. What is the room telling me? What is this crystal sharing? What is my friend really saying or feeling? What is my beloved who passed away? My animal companion who's no longer with me physically, where are they? Do they have a message for me? How can I connect to them? Because each one of those examples, they're communicating with energy as well. Why can't we receive it? We can. Now it's learning the difference between our imagination and our intuition, or our imagination and our yeah, our imagination and our intuition and our thoughts. I would throw thoughts in there too. Because when we generate thought, words, we're shoving energy together and we're manifesting something. We're exerting energy. I'm exerting energy by having these series of thoughts, collecting them, thinking about them, and pushing them out to you. But when I'm receiving, channeling information, I'm not exerting any energy because I'm not building it and making it and focusing on it. I'm receiving it. So it requires a different focus. Though your brain can be in any brainwave state, it just requires a different focus. It's no longer a give out, it's just a receive in. And I'm not exerting any energy. It's arriving. Most likely, I'll respond to it like a surprise. Or I'm managing the thought. That's the craziest thought. Why am I thinking of this? Why am I thinking of this? I don't know. Like it's not coming from any other thought in my day or experience, or I'm not being triggered to think this way. I just don't know. So Lorraine, the intuition equals the sixth sense. So oh, I love it. Shellyham says, Jamie, do you ever feel blocked when you are channeling? No. Um, blocked. Blocked is an interesting word. I do get sensations that I'm in my own way. I'll get that. I feel like the I entity or the ego entity in me might be a little too flared up and want to participate or maybe claim or own the information that's coming in. And it wants to sift through it first to see if there's anything really good before it's shared with somebody else. And so when I have that feeling, I know I'm in the way. Because when we're receiving, it's not about you. You're not the one giving. So if I'm flared up and want to be in the mix, I'm in the wrong place. I would say that is the most difficult part, or maybe the hardest part, and not for everybody, but it has been for me, for this work, is to get out of the way. It doesn't need my thoughts, doesn't need my input. I don't need to be controlling it, twisting it, manipulating it so that maybe the messenger doesn't get shot, or, those sayings that I look okay or I look intelligent or whatever it is. I'm human. I have those sensations. I want to be loved and liked. So I get those responses, but it's the staying present and being mindful that helps me identify it and go, ooh, shut that down. It's not about you. But if it's me out of the way and the information's coming through, I rarely feel blocked because I have worked on that aspect. And Shelley, you've been in our Approaching Trance Channeling series, and we talk about how the ego is important. We're not talking about shutting self down to be able to connect to higher frequencies. You are higher frequency. You were already pre-wired for all of that, but we have just learned so much about staying put where we are. So the Approaching Trance Channeling takes you through 16 weeks, and we unpack some of those belief systems. We check in with your ego. You do homework every week, and I love the homework. And we have some people giggling about the homework. There's one, if you know what it is, I'll let you share the homework, but I'll keep it later. But we get you to try on different types of, whether you're listening and repeating, whether you're just tuning in, whether you're sharing space, doing automatic writing, or whether you're trance channeling. Dawn, can you share an experience where you go when you trance channel? Oh, that's great example. That's a great question. Thanks. Most of the time when I'm trance channeling, so that means I am relinquishing the shell of my body and I'm taking my consciousness elsewhere. So, on rare occasions, Dawn, I will have traveling experiences. I go somewhere. And most of the time, if I'm going to remember that, I will remember the tail end of the experience. Like Colleen can probably type a few where I come back. And there was one time I thought I was on a roller coaster ride or something, right, Colleen? Like I was gripping the bar in front of me. I was grabbing it because I was already doing something, and all of a sudden I was back in my body, and it was very confusing and disorienting. And it's normally not that way, but there are a few occasions, and I felt like I was about to move or go or slide or something. I do have a few memories of floating above tree lines, but the trees were pink. They weren't even green, they were pink. I'm talking Pepto Bismol pink. And I'm flying over them and I'm watching the individual leaves and like the cauliflower pattern of the tops of the trees. So it's very dreamlike. I often don't get invited to go to what I call the other side, home. I have been there several times, and apparently I just misbehave when I'm there because I don't want to return to Earth or return to this existence. I'm not a dummy. Um, I'm not saying that those who don't choose that are dummies. I'm just saying that I align more with this life after this one. I'm excited for it. I'm very happy in this one. I know there's so much creativity and experience and the practice of being happy, like with all of it, that actually gets me going. I don't know why, but it does, and I like it. But I'm very excited for what's going to be on the other side. So I don't often go there. What it does feel like most of all, Dawn, is on many occasions, is that I go to sleep. That feeling where you're really, really tired and you can almost count yourself down. 3, 2, 1, sleep. And your whole body just goes, oh, that. And then there's this sweet darkness that comes in, and it's just so restful. I call it my fountain of youth. And then I wake up like I've been sleeping. And most of the time, I'll tell you that's what happened. I went to sleep. And I know the whole time you guys had conversations and talked about stuff, and that's great. Sometimes I remember a little bit of it, like strange parts, like maybe a squirrel or something. But I don't often go many places. Vlad is noticing messages come as subtle ideas. It's important to not be dismissed. It's very true. They come in, just sneak in and just pop in. Amora says, yeah, it's waking up from dreams. I love your shares. I love when you guys talk to each other. We're pulled back into the body, and at one point, yes, before waking up. Kiara likes to sneak in. You know this. The class and the homework help you learn in such a step by step way to help you not be overwhelmed. But everything is such a natural progression that you won't even realize it. That's so nice. That's really what I wanted. That's why I structured it that way. Many of us say we want to channel, we want that information. You're already doing it every day. If you don't wish to study more of it, like in a approaching trance channeling class or something similar, then look at your belief systems. Look at what you believe in. How do you believe your brain is actually working? Do you believe you're telepathic? And these are, I know they might sound like basic questions, and you're just like, sure, I believe in it. Well, are you allowing yourself to have those experiences? Like, again, today, I get in to do the Reiki healing class on Learn It Live. I'm logging in. I log in just fine. Sometimes it's a little difficult because of the internet in the building. I'm like, it's good. I hear Maitland pop into my head. Boom. Why don't you log in with your phone as well? And you know what I said? Oh, come on. I'll keep my phone next to me, but I'm not going to log in. I'm already logged in here. Like, it's good. So, guess what happens in class? Right at the end, when I'm starting to share, screen goes blank. I have no idea why. I still have internet, but it goes blank. So I have to get my phone and I log on. You know, why couldn't I have just agreed and listened and followed through to begin with? Because I am human. Filter my messages that are channeling through me. I go, oh, that's like double work, Maitland. I'm good to go. Thanks. Bye bye. Why can't I just go, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. I'll just do that. It's not harming me. It's not harming anybody else. And then when that screen went blank, I could have just gone blink and continued right on. So we get these messages all the time. Where are you holding yourself back? Where's that? We get into that during the approaching trance channeling, but if you don't want to take the classes and everything, do that work. And that's work that you can do on your own. And if you feel like you need a support system, well, find a friend who wants to dive into it with you. That's always fun. What do we have? It was funny the other day when Maitland said that it felt like putting on a wetsuit when she entered your body. Oh, I don't know that one yet. Was that in the stone or crystal class? I haven't listened to it yet. Lorena, we get in the way of their help. Guilty, right here. Oh, yeah. I want to be myself and I make my decisions. And I know I'm the best version of myself at any given moment. Even if it looks nasty, that's the best I got. And so when spirit is giving me these messages, my brain is picking up on these pings and messages. I choose. That's the beauty of being human. But if we're really wanting more connection to spirit and more messages, engagement, more support, we need to let ourselves be there and get out of our way. She said it in crystal class. Thanks, Amy. I'll go and listen to it. Cloud Ma'am. Jamie, do you still trance or communicate with Eric Medus? He still comes in and says hi to me. Yes. It's been a while since he has trance channeled through me. I think he did a class last year. I don't know. Colleen would remember more, I think, but he still comes and says hi. He's amazing. You want somebody. If you would like to have a spirit that really can give you the tangible sensations of having subtle light energy around you, Eric Meadows is great. He loves that kind of presentation. And I would say go for it. If you're someone who's wanting a little bit more sweet, like don't scare me with a prank, don't touch me, don't just a light feeling, Maitland is amazing. She can put you into a fit of giggles when you're totally by yourself and there's nothing funny happening and you just sweep with this little smile and you're laughing and then you start going down memory lane and thinking of other silly things and she is fabulous at that. If you're looking for an energy that's more of a calming, like download, exposing of information, I would say call on Grace. It's just like having friends. You know, your friends have different personalities. Our spirit team has them as well. Edna, how are you? Thanks for sharing that, Jamie. I often get those advice messages that seem nonsensical. Yes, they do, right? In the moment. And then later, feel spirit chuckling at me, like, we tried to tell you. It's right, so true. And I'm texting after. I go, what does it take for me just to go, yeah, I hear you. I'm going to do it. It wouldn't have hurt anybody for me to agree to the last two that they've done. It just, why didn't I just say yes? I just brushed it off and went on being human. I'm the only one to blame here. Oh, Liza, my challenge is allowing my heart and soul to have a seat at the table alongside my very skeptical mind. Okay, let's talk about your brain. So we got two parts of it. Thank God. The left part loves the logic, right? It does all the daily activity. It remembers the routines, it remembers the statistics and what you need to be doing on that to do list that you need to write 5 times a day to remember what to do. The left side of the brain, they're not using me all the time, so I guess I'll take a back seat. That sounds okay. So it will kind of slide off a little, not literally slide off, but it will just kind of, it doesn't battle as much with the other. Like we're not as balanced anymore because look at the decades and centuries that we have been feeding the left side of our brain with the type of culture, society, and expectations we have. So we really worked on this side a lot. It's great. The creative mind is a little lax. But when we get into meditation, when we get into intuition, when we get into receiving messages and channeling, guess who does the heavy lifting? The right side of the brain. Bling! And then it starts to lead and it starts to get big and going, yeah, this is what's happening. This is what you're doing. And the left side of the brain goes, whoa, hold up. That's total BS. You don't know that for certain. You didn't read it in a book. Nobody told you that information. And it starts to flare up and it starts like spoon feeding you doubt. No, I'll take another spoon. This isn't happening. This isn't for real. And it starts shoveling it over to the right side of the brain. When the right side of the brain was like, clearly, I got the information. I'm good. You're the one having a hard time with it. So, a little trick, well, it's not really a trick, but it's good homework that you can do to get these two hemispheres to work together is to get pen and paper. And yeah, you remember that old thing we used to use? It kind of looks like this. If there's anybody out there in the Sharpie world that works for Sharpie or knows the Sharpie company, tell them that I love them. Do you know I go to their website and I write them little love letters? They don't respond back to me. It's really sad. I told them I was like, I'll be a great like speaker representation of you and your. They're probably like, we don't want a medium representing us. Thank you. Get a pen and get paper. This is what paper looks like. And for 7 days, it can be a small little notebook. Please don't put it in your phone digitally or talk to text or in a computer. I want you to have it on paper. The reason I want you to have it on paper is because you've been taught Tests are taken on paper, grades are given on paper. You read books that have information. So your brain, your left side of the brain is already wired for it. So let's just go with what's easy with it. And for 7 days, I want you to write down what were your like aha moments, your psychic hits, your little premonitions, your little thoughts. Just write them down. Like Maitland told me I didn't. Well, midway through class, it turns off. Now I see why they told me to log in with the phone. So at the end of the day, I go back and I read my list. And it could say, I felt like somebody was staring at me. And I turned around and there was somebody staring at me. Well, how did you know that? You felt like your mom was going to call. All day you've been thinking about her. And then at night she calls you and you're like, I've been waiting on you. Like, I want you to write those down and then afterwards go back and check them off. Oh, that one happened, that one happened, that one happened. Maybe one or two didn't. And then few days later, you go, oh, that's happening now. Check, check. But I want you to do it for a 7 day period. And then at the end of 7 days, you go back and you start looking at all your check marks. And your left side of your brain is going to see this information in a completely new light. It'll go, wait, these are statistics. These are accurate journals of our experiences. Whereas before, you thought you could log them into your brain and not need to put it on paper. But oh, how quickly you forget. You think, I'm going to remember this for the rest of my life. It is amazing. It is so shocking. I can't believe. Well, it's so shocking and you can't believe that you don't hold on to it because you don't know where to categorize it. You don't know what to do with it. It's like, what the whoa, and it falls out of your mind. But if it's something mundane and you've seen it before, it's easy to remember. I got that. So when we talk about our psychic experiences and our intuition, documenting it for 7 days is going to help the left side of your brain see it on paper in a new light with stats to go with it and go, oh, I get it now. Now I understand why you've been working so hard to get me to wake up. And all of a sudden, the left side of the brain, after doing exercises like this, will wake up and become your cheerleader rather than your suppressor. And it will start to go, oh, it's happening again. Did you know? Look at that. Oh, notice how you're feeling. Remember, this is what you were feeling when we wrote in that journal and you did the check marks 3 times? This is what it is. Pay attention. It'll start to give you the heads up and how to stay conscious with it so that you can make it part of your existence rather than having it be this wow moment, brand new, and you can't hold on to it. We have to really build the neurotransmitters, the experiences again and again and again to carve it into a normal foundational experience. So if it's a one off, we're more likely to forget it than if we were to repeat it, is to play the game of the left side of the brain, the logic side, and document and write it down. Oh, I get up on my soapboxes. But this is what I like to do. So thanks. Belinda, we need to take the spoon away from the left side of the brain and give it a fork so it can poke itself. Wake up! Wake up! Stop feeding the right side of my brain and my intuition your doubt. I don't need it. It doesn't work. It's only doing that because it's like, I don't understand. I'm the leader. You know, the left brain, I'm the leader. What are you doing? This one's over here like, you want to dance? You want to do something fun? Barrett, thank you so much. Thanks so much for the financial energy. Oh, hi there again. Shillingham, Jamie, are those new glasses? No, I got these and my clear ones on the same day. I just alternate them a little bit more. Lorena, you're very welcome. Have a beer on me. Done. I will do that. I haven't had a beer in a really long time. Lorena, this morning on my quiet moment while still in bed, I heard the beep of a heart machine and the image of someone Oh, the image of someone come flashing immediately. And I said, oh, heart attack. And I felt like I was in a hospital. Wow. Note that. That's stuff that I would write down in that tiny little journal. Doesn't have to be long, just bullet point. And then start paying attention. Is this coming a psychic hit from a friend? Or is this slightly a premonition? It's really nice. Like the other night, I dreamed about our roof caving in. And when I woke up, I told my husband about the dream. He goes, "Oh, baby, don't worry. Late in the night, I went out there and I put a tarp on it so that the rain wouldn't come in." I was like, "You did what?" Like, he went and put the tarp on it. We have a roof leak. We are trying to find a roofer. It's fine. We will find one. Ed, I was on the phone call. I went back to real estate. Oh, good. I'm so happy you're in real estate. It's a good time to be in real estate. Kristen W. I love Eric. He says, "Sup?" He loves you, Jamie. He's so proud of you. Oh, that feels so good to hear. He's such a great guy. Amber, I'm very connected to someone and felt them in my heart, but then there comes the left side. Oh, it's not what you think. You're just beat it up. So start getting the doubtful thoughts. And we talk about this during approaching trance channeling too. Like, what do we do with those thoughts? This comes the mindfulness part. Do you know why your brain acts up that way? Do you know why? Do you know why it's just so irritating and mean to you? For a few reasons. Number one, the left side of the brain has thoroughly been taught to keep you safe. And so it is in constant risk assessment and survival mode. Right side of the brain loves to thrive and just be in living mode. I'm here, I'm present. It's naturally present and alive and investing in you. So when something abnormal is happening, the left side of the brain is able to assess that and go, oh, we're doing something that is not in our traditional norm. So anytime you're growing or changing or learning something new, you're stepping outside of your norm. Anything new is change. Anything change, left side of the brain is going to go, I'm watching you. I'm watching you. It's going to want to just slice and dice and cut it up and ruin it for you, thinking that it's protecting and saving you. So there's one thing about showing compassion when our brain starts doing this. You're crazy. This isn't right. You need to seek help. And you, instead of beating it up and feeding it like energy, you feed it compassion and love and understanding and acceptance. So let's connect to that. Why are you doing that to me? It's not really helping me grow in this direction. What is it that you notice or witness that might be harmful to this experience? And most of the time, your left sided brain can't identify the harmful thing. It just identifies that what you're doing is abnormal to you. So if it can't identify anything, then you say, okay, like when Maitland told me log in with my phone to learn it live. Is that harming me? Is it harming others? It's not harming anyone. So your brain will come up with a no, I don't have anything. And you'll know when it starts to grasp and reach for things, you're like, whoa, why is it talking about cotton candy? I'm not even talking about anything sugary. What the? Your brain's just like scattered. Ugh, it's losing its circuitry. So then you show it compassion. Thank you for wanting to protect me. I understand that you want me to slow down and really pay attention to this and walk cautiously. And I'll agree to do that because I'm fine with it. And if we pay compassion and acceptance, then this survival mode feedback will start to dim down and you will train survival mode only to show up when you're really in trouble, not when you're making change, not only when you are learning something new. Whoa, did I just glitch out? Something just happened to the screen. I don't know I don't know what just happened, but the screen went all wonky donkey, and now I think it's back. Or maybe not. Oh my goodness. Let me know if you're still here. Very relatable, says Unica Phoenix. Hi, I hope you're doing well. Sounds familiar, says Barrett. Because there's, yes. Oh, good, good. That was weird. It was really weird. And the computer's already done strange things. So it's doing that to risk assess you. So show some compassion, understanding, come to a mutual point, then it'll start only speaking out when you're really in a poor situation, when you're really needing that kind of survival mode, rather than just trying to identify anything that's new that's coming your way. Oh, Ed, that's pretty interesting. Hi, Drew DB. I was guided here. Hello, everyone. Hello, Drew. Welcome to the Luminaires. These are people who shine light into their life and into the world for others and themselves. So I think I have covered everything. This has been so wonderful. We talked about how our brain is an antenna. It gives and receives information. Science has proven that with EEGs 2 feet away from the head. We know that we are made to be telepathic. We're made to transmit and receive energy. We know that we channel information all the time. It's our indoctrinated belief system about what that is that holds us back or lets us deeper in. I covered that if you really want to learn more about this, come join our Approaching Trance Channeling series. That starts February 9th over on Learn It Live. It's 16 weeks, once a week. It's live streamed, but you don't have to be in the lives. The bonus with the lives is that I show up early and stay later. So if you have questions, we can talk about it. But we do Q&As every other week. We sit together for an hour and we talk and just go, okay, what are you experiencing? How is that for you? And go through some of those questions that you have that maybe just didn't fit into anywhere else. And you can also watch the recordings. So if you can't attend the lives, you can watch the recordings and show up for the Q&As. Those are nice too. Maitland, go see Shelly. Hey, Lexi. It's good to see you here. There's so, oh, thank you. Colleen saying to everyone, thank you so much for liking and sharing today's video. That's really nice. Breathe. Okay, I just want to squeeze you even got the name Breathe on the YouTube. I love that. Does Jamie still work with Eric? I don't, in a professional sense, work with Eric and his mom, but Eric sometimes shows up in my personal readings for people. And on rare occasions, he shows up when we're doing trance channeling. So we're still buddies. We just don't do as much work together. Kiara says pre and oh, you like those the best? Before and after session and the Q&As are the best part because you can really connect with each other and ask Jamie questions. Yeah. Lorena, I didn't know that, but you're right. Learn It Live works with PayPal, so you can pay with PayPal 0 interest for 6 months. That's nice. Oh, you are so welcome, Kiara. She says, thank you. Really, you helped us so much as a channeler and as a person. Awesome. You guys are great. Ooh, I love Kathleen is sharing. I'd love to take your classes, but I'm already registered with another medium and I'm taking shamanic teachings with Veronica Drake. I love all of this true stuff. Gonna do some Reiki healing soon. Yay! I love that. And Kathleen, if you're open to sharing, will you let us know what classes you're taking? We can look up Veronica Drake. Shamanic. Love. Breathe. The Tucson Gem Show is in full swing from the 28th through February 1st. My feet still going, Jamie, why did you walk so much? No, it's glitching in and out again. The Tucson Gem Show. I loved it. Enjoy it. So you're there now. Have a great time. Dawn, I'm going to join the trance channeling next session. Oh my gosh. I'll be moving soon and I want to make sure I'm focused on the homework. Yay! Oh, thank you so much for posting, Kathleen. I love it when we all contribute and learn from each other. With Sean Leonard, learning to connect with spirit. Cool. I miss Griff too. Ed Gonzalez, thank you so much for the financial love. That's super sweet. So I am wrapping up with you guys. What? Amora says the glitches aren't happening there? They're happening all over my screen. It's insane. This has been so wonderful to open up with you, to share examples of trance channeling, to share how our hemispheres are working and how they can just batter and beat up each other and what frequencies they really like to hear, and the homework, which is 7 days. Write down your intuitive hits, your aha moments, your little weird things. Go back and mark off the ones that are correct, and then sit down with that little 7-day list and let the left side of your brain just soak it in and go, oh, I didn't know you were so good at that. I didn't know we did it all the time. But you do. You channel information all the time. We just call it different things. Aha moments, coincidences, lucky, bright ideas. It's all intuition and it's all being channeled. Yes, have a great, great weekend. Enjoy it. And if you are out in Tucson, enjoy the gem show. And sending special love to Marshawn. Elevated flashes. I think of Marshawn often. I hope she's well. I miss the videos of you two together. I do too. I text her every now and then and send her some love. You can head to her Facebook page, um, Griff's Gifts, and send her a little bit of love too. Thank you for the good weekend wishes. Take care, everybody. Bye.